The system monitor provides clinicians with a detailed, large-scale display of system performance. Using the System Monitor touchscreen, clinicians can enter and change operating parameters and system settings. The system monitor is required during implant procedures and any time close monitoring of system operation is needed. For the system monitor to work, it must be connected to the power module for use with the HEARTMATE 2 LVAS via the system monitor data cable. In addition, the power module must be connected to the system controller for use with the HEARTMATE 2 LVAS. When connected, the system monitor displays information about system performance and the overall operational status of the HEARTMATE 2 LVAS. The system monitor may be used for the following: to closely monitor system operation during HEARTMATE 2 left ventricular assist device Lvad implantation. To monitor, program and adjust system parameters to maintain optimal performance of the HEARTMATE 2 Lvad, frequently called the pump. To assess and track alarm conditions, to view and save performance data, and to stop and start the pump. The system monitor is designed to be mounted atop the power module. This minimizes the space needed when a patient requires continuous monitoring. The data cable connects the system monitor to the power module. It transmits both data and power from the power module to the system monitor. In this section, we will review the proper steps to setting up the system monitor for use with the power module. You will need the following items to perform this task: one power module set up and connected to power, one system monitor, and one system monitor data cable.
Plug the PM into a properly tested, grounded, and dedicated AC outlet. After plugging in the PM, the green power on light should come on. If it does not, do not use the device as it may be defective. Next, connect the patient cable by lining up the dots and plugging it into the heart socket on the side of the PM. You'll hear a click that indicates it is fully engaged. Tug gently on the bend relief to make sure that the connection is tight, but do not pull on the cable or the connector. Mount the system monitor onto the PM by sliding the back edge of the system monitor under the rubber lip on top of the PM. Press down firmly to engage the two front feet into the holding grommets. Then plug one end of the system monitor cable into the back of the system monitor and the other end into the display socket on the PM and turn it on. When system monitor initialization is complete, the HEARTMATE logo with flashing message "Not receiving data" will appear at the bottom of the screen, indicating that the system monitor is not yet linked to the system controller.
If the system monitor screen remains black, check the following. Verify whether the system monitor data cable is securely connected to the system monitor and the power module. Verify whether the system monitor power switch is on and the green power on light is illuminated. And verify whether the power module is running on AC power and not its backup battery. After connecting the system controller to the power module patient cable, the system monitor should display the clinical screen. If it remains on the logo screen with the flashing "Not receiving data" message, then the system monitor is not recognizing the system controller. If this occurs, check the following. Verify whether the power module patient cable is securely inserted into the power module. Verify whether the system controller power cables are properly connected to the power module patient cable, white to white and black to black. And verify the power module patient cable is not damaged. If it is damaged, replace it. In this section, we will review the 6 main system monitor screens, including the clinical screen, the settings screen, the alarm screen, the save data screen, the history screen, and the admin screen. The system monitor touchscreen interface contains menu-driven and menu-prompted operations that are accessible from 6 main screens. Touching the on-screen tab allows you to access the desired screen. Each screen has unique system functions. The tab for the in-use screen is highlighted in black as shown. In this example, the clinical screen is in use. A flashing communication icon appears in the lower left corner of all system monitor screens, indicating that the system monitor is actively communicating with the system controller. If the icon is not flashing or has disappeared, check the system monitor and power module patient cable connections and restart the system monitor. The clinical screen is the default screen. It displays the primary operating parameters, including estimated pump flow in liters per minute, pump speed in revolutions per minute, pulsatility index, and pump power in watts. The mode of operation and speed set point are displayed below the pump parameters. The system controller 11-volt lithium-ion backup battery expiration status displays below the mode of operation. In addition, should an alarm condition exist, the two highest priority alarm messages will be displayed below the operating mode. Hazard alarm messages are in uppercase letters in a flashing red banner. Advisory alarm messages are in upper and lowercase letters in a non-flashing yellow banner, except the warning low-speed advisory, low-speed operation advisory alarm, which flashes. If additional alarms are active, a plus will appear at the end of the second alarm banner. Information on the clinical screen is updated every second. The system monitor automatically returns to the clinical screen after 1 minute of inactivity on any other system monitor screen. Two command buttons appear during certain conditions. A pump start button appears when the pump is stopped or disconnected from the system controller. Pressing this button restarts the pump. A silence alarm button accompanies any active alarm. Pressing this button silences all hazard alarms and the power cable disconnected advisory alarm for 2 minutes, the low battery power advisory alarm for 5 minutes, and all other advisory alarms for 4 hours. It functions the same as the system controller's silence alarm button. The settings screen is used to monitor system parameters, change speed settings, and manually stop the pump. Various system parameters are displayed in 3 system status boxes. Only 2 system status boxes may be viewed at a time. Use the scroll bar on the right to toggle between the system status 2 and 3 boxes. The system status 1 and system status 2 boxes display general parameters and indicate the current operating mode. The system status 3 box displays information on the system controller backup battery. The 2 highest priority active hazard or advisory alarm messages, including the driveline disconnected hazard alarm, appear as text banners below the system status boxes. The settings screen contains 3 command buttons as well as the silence alarm button. The fixed speed adjust button is used to increase or decrease the fixed speed in increments of 200 RPM, within a range of 6,000 to 15,000 RPM. A ramped speed study using echocardiography is the most direct method for determining the optimal fixed speed that will provide the desired level of cardiac support for each patient. The low speed limit button is used to increase or decrease the low speed limit in increments of 200 RPM, within a range of 8,000 to 10,000 RPM. This is the alarm limit for the low speed operation alarm, and the speed in which the pump speed will decrease when a PI event is detected and during power saver mode. The pump stop, pump start button allows you to stop or start the pump in a controlled manner. To stop the pump, press and hold the pump stop button while the pump stop countdown counts down from 15 to 0. When the pump off message appears, the button will change to pump start. To start the pump, press the pump start button, then confirm the command. The button will change to pump stop when the pump has started. The silence alarm button will only appear when an alarm is active. Pressing this button silences all hazard alarms and the power cable disconnected advisory alarm for 2 minutes. the low battery power advisory alarm for 5 minutes, and all other advisory alarms for 4 hours on both the power module and system controller. The alarm screen shows the status of all hazard and advisory alarms. Alarms are listed in order of highest priority, with hazard alarms on the left side of the screen and advisory alarms on the right side. All active alarms are highlighted and indicated by active. A box below the alarms box displays system parameters, hazard time elapsed for low-flow hazards only, whether the alarm silence is on, off, or extended, and whether the driveline fault advisory alarm silence is off or on. Command buttons appear only during alarm conditions. As previously discussed, the silence alarm button accompanies any active alarm. The silence alarm button may still appear on the system monitor for alarm conditions for which there is no associated audible alarm. For example, system controller clock not set advisory alarm and the driveline fault advisory alarm. In this case, the button will not perform any function. The extended silence button accompanies active audible alarms only when the fixed speed is set below 8,000 RPM. Pressing this button will silence all hazard and advisory audio alarms for 4 hours. The alarm silence status will indicate extended. Alarm messages will still be displayed on the system monitor. The extended silence can be canceled by pressing the silence alarm button on the system controller. The clear driveline fault alarm button clears the active alarm and resets the monitoring system to detect the driveline fault advisory alarm. When the alarm has been activated, it can only be cleared via the system monitor. The ability to clear this alarm permits further troubleshooting. The Save Data screen allows users to change the rate at which performance data is stored in the system controller, to clear the stored information, or to save the information to a data card. The event recorder is a built-in feature of the system controller that allows performance data to be collected and stored. The system monitor is used to set the time interval for recording events by the system controller. You will select the Modify button in the Controller Event Recorder section to turn the record interval on or off, to specify a time interval for data collection, and to confirm the interval by selecting Save Changes. Frequency options include off, 0.5 hour, and then hourly increments from 1 to 24 hours. By default, the record interval is set to off. The System Controller Event History feature accesses the information stored in the system controller memory. This history can either be saved to the data card in the system monitor or erased. The Save to Card button is used to save the history to the data card inserted into the slot located behind the door on the side of the system monitor. The History screen allows the user to retrieve and display the system controller event history on the system monitor or to save it to a data card. When the History tab on the system monitor toolbar is selected, the screen will display the following message: Please confirm retrieving of controller's event history. Pressing the Cancel button will return the user to the clinical screen. Pressing the Continue button will instruct the system monitor to download the logged events stored in the system controller. Once the logged events have been successfully retrieved, this screen displays the most up-to-date system controller event history on the system monitor. Event times, system parameters, and alarm messages are displayed in a 6-column table. A maximum of 240 events can be retrieved and displayed. Information is displayed in reverse chronological order, with the most recent events appearing at the top of the screen. Navigation buttons at the lower right portion of the screen allow the user to move through the multiple event screens or navigate directly to the first or last page. A Save to Card button is displayed on the bottom left corner of the screen. This button is used to save the history to the data card inserted into the system monitor. The Admin screen is used for the following: setting the system monitor and system controller clocks, setting the language that messages will be displayed on the system controller display screen, and viewing information about the system controller backup battery. Let's look at how to set the system monitor clock first. The System Monitor clock can be adjusted by pressing the System Monitor Clock Modify button and entering the date and time using the numerical keypad. Press the Save Changes button to save the new date and time. The System Monitor and System Controller have separate clocks. They can be set independently from each other, or they can be synchronized. The current date and time for the System Controller clock is displayed in the System Controller box. To make changes, press the System Controller Modify button to enter the date and time, or press the Sync button to synchronize it with the current date and time on the System Monitor. Note: the System Monitor does not automatically update for daylight savings time. Daylight savings time changes must be entered manually. The System Controller on-screen information is available in several languages. In the System Controller language field, press the Modify button to change the language. The navigation buttons are used to scroll through and select the desired language. The language options are listed in alphabetical order. The first language listed is the one currently in use. Pressing the Show button in the System Controller Backup Battery Information field will display information about the System Controller 11-volt lithium-ion backup battery. The user will press the Back button to return to the main admin screen. I hope you learned from this video. Press subscribe, like and share to support my channel. Press the bell button to be notified with my upcoming videos. Thank you.